Hey guys, my name is Samantha. This is my first vlog about my iguana, Montego. This is Montego. She is a female. So I first wanted to let everyone know that I am in no way experienced. I'm not a herpetologist or a veterinarian or anything. So all of the information I'm going to give you in my videos is either things that I've read online, which we all know is totally true, or just basically my experience. So, this is Montego. I initially named her because I wanted her to be a boy because I like the big jaws that the male iguanas get. But you can see she's totally tame. I can kind of put my hands anywhere on her really, and she just does not really care. So I just wanted to give you a little bit of background on how it got to this point, because when I first got an iguana, I was watching all types of YouTube videos and really trying to figure out, okay, how can I get my iguanas to be tame? And the biggest thing that kind of turned me off a little bit, or maybe not turned me off, but kind of made me a little bit discouraged, was that a lot of the videos, or even if you read anything online about iguanas, said that if you're a first-time reptile owner, an iguana is not right for you. And I'll say that I was the first reptile owner, didn't have any clue about how to take care of reptiles aside from what I was reading. And I mean, look where I got today. So I will say that it absolutely was a challenge. So if you are not up for a challenge, then I would say this is not the right pet for you. They're extremely challenging to tame. I mean, even still now, she will get a little bit feisty, especially if she's on the ground. She doesn't like to be bothered too much when she's down there, kind of because it's a sense of she doesn't feel dominant when she's on the ground. But in general, basically what happened was, I mean, I did not do it right. So I didn't really have time for her, as much time as you should. You should be able to spend time with them every day, at least 30 minutes a day with iguanas to get them to this point. I didn't have that time for the first few years, well, a couple years. She's 3 years old now. For the first year, I was working, and then when I did want to handle her, I didn't want to get whipped. So I kind of didn't really handle her as much as I should have. I don't advise that at all. I think if you are wanting to get an iguana, that you need to have time to handle them every day. It wasn't until 3 years, she was about 3 years old, so about 6 months ago, she actually, this is when I found out that she was a female, she laid some eggs. So I'll make another video talking about that, because it was a total learning experience for me, because her behavior completely changed during that time, and also at that time they kind of require additional care. So, but anyways, to talk a little bit more about the taming process, what happened was, after she laid eggs, she was extremely docile because she was kind of fatigued after doing that. So I took advantage of that, and I started, because she wasn't whipping me anymore, I started giving her a bath every day. So I think that's one of the really important things to do, is give them a bath every day. I would feed her and then give her a bath. Hand feed her, give her a bath. The other thing that's extremely important about taming iguanas is exposure. They have to have constant exposure to you or other human beings. So my boyfriend and I let her free roam, so she does not any longer have a cage. She does. We actually have custom made cages, and I'll show you that at some point in another video. The first one we had was a lot bigger, but then I moved and I had to get rid of that one and create another one, so the one that I made wasn't as big. I don't like it. I don't like keeping her in a cage. I'd rather she free roam. So we let her kind of hang out outside, or in the house. She can go wherever she wants. Usually she poops and pees once a day, so we try to put her in the bathtub because warm water will make them go. And so when I get her in the bathtub, let her go, then she's good for the day. So I let her walk around the house, and she can pretty much go wherever she wants. She likes one particular spot. Iguanas are arboreal, so they like to be high. So I have a shoe rack on the back of my door. She likes to climb up there and sit at the top of the door. And that's where she stays, and she pretty much sleeps there in our bedroom. So she sees us every day. She wakes up to our voices every morning. So it kind of basically got to that point where you just had to have constant exposure to us, to human beings. And every time I would pass her, I'd pet her so she knows, I'm here, I'm not here to hurt her. Hand feeding every day, and then I'll talk in another video about what we feed her. But she's pretty cool. We're starting to now bring her out, so we've brought her to the pet shop a couple of times. So far she's done pretty well. I think the first time we went, I was more nervous than she was, but she likes to be at the highest point, so a lot of times she'll climb up to my head, which kind of hurts. But other than that, if you have the time and you're willing to take on the challenge, then they're great pets. I mean, she's beautiful. They're awesome animals. They're really cool. The only thing is that they do get very, very large. They live for, I think it's about 20 years. I will check on that and let you all know. But they live quite a while. If you're not willing to keep an iguana for a long time, I do not recommend you get one because they're, especially in Florida, which is where I live, they're invasive, South Florida especially, because what happens is people can't take care of them anymore. They don't realize how big they were going to get. And of course, if you don't tame them appropriately and they get bigger, they can really hurt you. I've been bitten by her once before. It's not pretty. I mean, their bites are pretty significant. Their teeth are kind of like saws, and what they do is they will shake their head. So she would bite you and shake your head, and you'll have a pretty significant cut on your hand. But I mean, she's very calm. I can just kind of rub my hand over her, and she's totally fine with it. There are times that she gets a little irritated, doesn't want to be bothered. She'll let you know. But other than that, she doesn't really whip us anymore, and so it took a lot of time. So it's very involved. So if you're up for the challenge, like I said, she's a great pet. She's an awesome animal, but absolutely never ever let one of these guys out into the wild. Especially you don't want them to become invasive, and it kind of pushes out the other animals in the ecosystem and disturbs the ecosystem. So if you're willing to take on this animal, then she's a great animal. I don't like to tell people that you can't do something, but you're definitely going to want to be able to take on the challenge. We'll see you in some other videos. Bye, guys.